It's not the greatest thing for recording video at all. As you can see, it's a very slow frame rate, shutter speed. There's something that I'm working on. I can zoom on this. Probably not. It doesn't look like I can zoom on this. But anyway, so here's a test of this old phone that I just found. Let's see what kind of video quality I can get out of this. Obviously not very much. I'm going to try a different encoding process here in a second. Alright, looks like now I'm back into the program again after a little application crash. This is worse than my Corby Pro, actually, to be perfectly honest. There's a project that I'm working on right now, as you can see. This, by the way, is actually an HTC Dream. Very old smartphone at this point in time. Definitely needs a new battery because the battery is pretty much toast on it. So I figured that if it's really, all I'm really going to be using it for is a camera, though. I'm not really going to be using this phone anymore. It's long past being able to be used for that purpose. Seems to be working fine, though. Or at least temporarily. And I guess that's pretty much it for a test video. Shut that off because I'm going to do some work on it here in a second. And we'll see how this came out. Probably not very well, if I had to guess. Alright, more test video here. This thing doesn't happen to have a light, it's just the cameraman. I still don't know what the quality is like. Figure I would take a little flock, and whoops, almost knocked it right out of my hand. Take a look at some other things. I'm going to need help with a light here, because this thing is not bright enough. Or it doesn't have the capability to see very well in the light conditions. That's what all this stuff looks like without the light in place. It's almost like using my old Samsung Corby Pro cell phone. In fact, I might have to go ahead and see if I can get that one working at some point as well. Because I still have it, and if I remember right, it had the same problem that this one had, and that the battery didn't work. So I bet that if I were to charge up the battery enough, I could probably get the thing working. Just like I did with this. But then again, one at a time here. I want to see if I can get this one to work properly right now as well. It doesn't quite work right. I mean, if you were to unplug it, it'd probably last for a minute, and that's about it. It'd be kind of flaky as well. It did boot while I had it unplugged once, but that's about it. It wasn't very stable while I did that either. So you can't zoom while you're recording, which is kind of annoying. But here's a look at what it looks like when it's zoomed. It's just digital zoom, of course. I guess actually the low frame rate you're looking at is actually more a result of the fact that it's trying to compensate by lowering the shutter speed for the low light conditions. So really, I guess it's not as bad as I thought it was. And, well, there you go. You can't, like I said, you can't zoom while you're recording. We can take a look outside here. Would be a useful little camera, maybe not for thunderstorm videos or anything like that. Would be a nice little thing to shoot, just as a sort of point-and-shoot camera. If there's something on the go that I would like to take a video of, we can probably do that. Of course, I'll probably have to buy a new battery for it first, but, I mean, it's certainly worth it if it's going to actually do what it's supposed to. Well, it should be good for that purpose. I don't know why it wouldn't work. But anyway, I'm going to cut this short before I ramble anymore. There you have it. I've got a mess to clean up over here so I can go to sleep. I'm also going to finish up with this project. Here's the device that was recording those other videos. It's an HTC Dream Rogers Edition. Take a look here. I'm unlock it. I'm going to hopefully see how well this camcorder works now. Take a look at the camcorder app. That's what it looks like. And it just shut up. So there's the problem that we've got here. This thing does not work very well, especially when it's on battery, and I'll show you why. Let's take a look at this battery that's in here. It takes a Herculean effort to get the battery out of this stupid thing. But anyway, this is the battery. Not sure how well you can see it, but it's kind of bulging in the middle. It's probably got a couple of partially shorted cells in it. A couple of shorted cells. The battery does work, as you just saw, but only marginally. Could benefit from a new battery. I think you could probably still buy similar batteries to this. Let's see, what's it actually rated for? Does it tell us? 5 volts DC at 1 amp. So I'd assume that we probably could buy a new battery for this, just off the shelf. It's got no SIM in it, but that's okay. And it did have a SIM in it when I first found it, but I took it out. And as you saw, it's got the full keyboard here, as well as the trackball, the menu buttons, and all that other stuff. It does have a touch screen. It's one of the very first Android smartphones. It's running Android 1.6. Or actually, I think this version's running 1.5. So this is an even earlier release than what it's advertised as having. But it's definitely running Android 1.5, so it's really old. One of the very first Android phones. So it's nice to actually have that in the collection. It's nice that it actually does still work, if only barely. It's since been replaced with an iPhone 4. It used to be my father's cell phone. And I found it in the box and thought, hey, maybe I can plug this in and run it up enough. Sure enough, if I charge the battery enough, I could get it to start. It's one of those phones that won't charge the battery while it's booting, which is an interesting limitation, but a lot of older phones have that. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this particular video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time.